The island of Cebu, the island that earned my silver medal.
So after Boracay, the plan was simple. Fly to Cebu, stay the night, then head down to Moalboal. Except the plan fell apart immediately, because the flight I thought I booked was actually for the wrong month. The booking app automatically jumps ahead and I didn't notice, so at the check-in desk, I was confidently thinking the staff member was being stupid. Spoiler, she wasn't, and I was. So I booked a brand new flight at the airport, trying to look calm while internally screaming. Ended up flying 4 hours later than planned. Basically the travel equivalent of being put in time out. We stayed one night in Cebu. Not glamorous, not exciting, just a strategic reset after the airport humiliation. We went out for Filipino food at this bar restaurant karaoke hybrid. Everyone else was singing their hearts out, and I did not. I'm many things, but a karaoke performer is not one of them. Then it was back to the hotel for sleep before the long drive the next morning. The drive down to Moalboal was about 4 hours, but our driver was great, friendly, patient and happy to stop whenever we wanted. We took full advantage of that. Some of the mountain roads had incredible views, so we kept pulling over to take photos like we were scouting locations for a tourism advert. It made the journey feel like part of the trip rather than just transport. Once we arrived, we rented a scooter, and honestly, the roads in Moalboal are fun. Smooth, scenic, open. The kind of roads that make you feel like you're in a travel montage. Everywhere we went, scooter. Every meal, scooter. Every questionable decision, scooter. It's the closest I've come to feeling like a local, if locals drive around with sunburn and mild fear. I stayed 7 nights in Moalboal, split between 2 places. The first 5 nights were at La Concepcion Cove Garden Resort, the place where we did the turtle hunting trip with Anna and her boyfriend. Really friendly staff, great vibes and the perfect base for exploring. Then, because they were fully booked when I tried to extend my stay, we moved literally next door to Sandbag Hideaway Bungalows for the last 2 nights. They were the ones who booked the whale shark experience for us. Both places were great in their own ways, and being neighbours made the move feel like switching bedrooms rather than switching hotels. On the first day, we went kayaking and snorkeling to find turtles. Found absolutely nothing, not even a turtle roomer. Later, the hotel told us we hadn't gone out far enough, which is Filipino for you basically stayed in the kiddie pool. A day or 2 later, the hotel recommended a guide called Anna and her boyfriend. A guy from Birmingham, because apparently the UK has agents everywhere. They took us out properly, showed us where to go, and within minutes, turtles, loads of them. Got amazing footage, had a brilliant time, and also discovered that swimming for long periods is exhausting when your cardio level walks briskly when late for work.
That evening we went to a bar to relax. I was nursing a drink, feeling hot and dizzy, and then suddenly I was on the floor with people offering me water. Apparently I stood up, went lightheaded and slumped, but my friend and a random stranger caught me before I face planted. I was fine afterwards, but every time I went back to that bar, the staff checked on me like I was their fragile Victorian child.
The nightlife in Moalboal is similar to Boracay. Not wild, not chaotic, just a couple of good bars with live music and a relaxed vibe. But one bar in particular became my bar. The same bar where I blacked out, so great first impression there. Ended up having one of the best live bands I heard on the whole trip. They were incredibly friendly, took requests and could play pretty much anything. I kept going back, and yes, I know I said this in the Boracay video, but once I find something I like, I stick with it. Like a man who has absolutely no interest in fixing what isn't broken. A few nights after the blackout, Anna and her boyfriend invited us over for drinks at their room. So there we were, me and my friend, Anna, her boyfriend, his sister, and a Polish guy who was also staying at the hotel. All sharing beers and travel stories like we'd known each other for years. It's one of those random travel nights that just works. The kind that never appears in the brochure, but somehow becomes one of the things you remember the most. We rode the scooter all the way to Kanlaob Falls, only to find out it was closed because of a storm the night before. Classic. But a local guide offered to take us to Kanlaob Falls instead, and honestly, it was still a great adventure. Climbing, swimming, exploring. But I won't lie, I'm still salty I didn't get to see Kanlaob. White Beach wasn't quiet. It was full of locals enjoying the day, all super friendly and welcoming. But the sun was brutal and I was already sunburned, so I rented a little hut and sat inside it like a grumpy hermit avoiding the light. Great beach, terrible day for my skin. This was the big one. We booked through the hotel, woke up at 3:30 AM and got picked up at 4 AM for the hour-long drive to Oslob. When we arrived, it was chaos. Queues everywhere, tourists everywhere, life jackets everywhere. By the time we got into the boats, it was around 8 AM. Being that close to such a huge animal is something I'll never forget. But Oslob is controversial. The whale sharks are fed to keep them close to shore, which changes their natural behaviour and affects migration patterns. Then there's the crowds. When we went out, loads of boats, all left at the same time in these organised waves. Watching them head out together was surreal. It felt less like a wildlife trip and more like some strange naval operation. And once you're in the water, it's a strange mix of awe and chaos. You've got a whale shark gliding past in front of you, and then you've got someone's foot near your face. A guide shouting instructions, and 20 other people all trying to have the same magical moment at exactly the same time. At times it felt less like a wildlife encounter and more like a production line. Amazing experience? Absolutely. Would I recommend Oslob specifically? Probably not. There are more ethical ways to see whale sharks, and this one felt a little too much like a conveyor belt for my liking.
One of the most famous things in Moalboal is the Sardine Run. Millions of sardines moving together in a huge shimmering cloud right off the beach. You literally just walk into the water at Panagsama Beach, swim out a little, and suddenly you're in the middle of this swirling silver tornado. I didn't get to do it, and it's one of the reasons I would go back. So would I return? Yes, 100%. I still want to see Kanlaob Falls properly, do the Sardine Run, explore more waterfalls, ride those roads again, and soak in the vibe a bit longer. But But it's a long way to go just for those things when there are so many other places in the Philippines I still want to explore. Maybe one day, if I actually manage to move to the Philippines like I keep dreaming about, I'll find the time to come back and finish what I started. Moalboal has everything I love. Adventure, nature, freedom to explore, turtles, waterfalls, scooter life, friendly locals, and nightlife that's just about good enough. But more than anything, Moalboal felt like freedom. Wake up, grab the scooter, pick a direction, see what happens. Some of my favourite travel memories come from doing exactly that. It's not quite number one, but it's a very strong number two.
If you've watched this far, you're probably exactly the sort of person I'm hoping finds this channel, so if you'd like to follow the journey, I'll be grateful for a subscription. Thank you for watching.